Hey everybody, Travis here, and today it's Tech Tip Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about tuning stability. Stay tuned. When I have people bring guitars in for setups, there's two complaints I normally hear. The first is that the action is too high, and the second is they're having trouble keeping the guitar tuned. So we're going to take a look at how to fix this problem. So for this job, you're going to need two tools. You're going to need a set of open-end wrenches. These are from StewMac. They're really good. You don't have to have these. It's just got to be an open-end wrench. The second thing is a small screwdriver, and this is for the tiny screws on the back of the headstock. So the reason why it's important to make sure that the tuners are tight is because if they're not, this often leads to them binding up and catching, and so it leads to problems when tuning, but also leads to problems while you're playing for tuning stability. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take our open-end wrench and we're just going to reach in there and we're going to check these. This one's a 10 millimeter, and we're just going to twist them until they're snug. They don't have to be super tight. You don't want to crank them down. If you do crank them down, there is a risk of cracking the finish on the headstock, and that's an ugly sight and nobody wants to see that. So you just want to tighten them down till they're snug and then move on to the next one. Ooh, that one was pretty loose. Alright, so they're all snugged up on the front, and this only applies to the ones that actually thread in. There is another type that is a push-in bushing, and that's a whole different problem, and we'll look at that here in a minute. Now, on some guitars, they are held in strictly by that front bushing that threads in, and they will not have a screw back here. Usually when you see that, it's got two pins that are drilled underneath the tuner, and that locks it in back here and keeps it from spinning. So if you don't have those though, and you have the type with the screw, we just want to come in here and check. And make sure they're all tight. And that's all there is to this. Alright, next we'll do one with the push-in bushings. Alright, so here we have the second type. This one has press-in bushings, and all it is just a simple bushing. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, almost. Anyways, it's just a bushing like this, and it's got little knurls on it. And what you'll do is it will press in, and then the tightness of the hole actually holds it in. So there's no tightening on here. You don't have to tighten these, but you could end up actually having a loose one. In that case, I do not recommend gluing them in, because if you ever want to change tuners, you're probably not going to get it back out. What I would recommend is take a piece of paper and rip it and make a small little piece of paper and then stick that next to the bushing as you press it in and see if that holds it in. So on these, they tend to have a screw in the back here, and you'll just go in through here and press in tighten up the screws and check those. There. We just want to make sure that it's, push this down. Alright, and that is it. So there you have it for part one on tuning stability. You'd be surprised how many guitars I see come in for a setup and have 2 or 3 of the tuners loose. It's a pretty common thing. I'd say probably 3 out of 4 guitars have that issue. And so now you can check on your guitar to make sure that that's not the problem with yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down in the comment section below. Thank you and have a great day.